Welcome to Into the Margins, where we dive into the margins to find what makes businesses profitable in order to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs.
It is really great to be back in the studio for this one.
Yeah, we have a massive topic today, but I want to start by asking you a question, and I want you to be totally honest with me here.
Okay, sure.
Think about the last time you were out and about. Maybe you were in a part of town you don't visit very often, or maybe you were traveling,
Right.
and you decided to buy something locally. I'm talking about, a cup of coffee, maybe a haircut, or maybe you hit a pothole and you desperately needed a new tire.
hmm
When was the last time you made a purchase like that without looking it up on your phone first?
Oh, honestly, I can't even remember. It has been years.
Exactly.
It's almost a reflex action at this point, you know? If
Ah.
I have a need, my hand goes straight to my pocket, the phone comes out, and I search. If I can't find a business on my phone, then for all intents and purposes, it effectively doesn't exist to me.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And that is the terrifying reality for a lot of business owners right now.
Yeah, it really is.
We are living in a world where if you aren't visible the precise second someone has a need, you are invisible, period. You aren't just losing a sale, you aren't even in the running.
You're not even on the playing field. It's the concept of the digital front door.
Right. And that digital front door is exactly the concept we are unpacking today. We're doing a deep dive into the absolute juggernaut of local marketing,
The big one.
the big one. We're talking about Google My Business, which is actually now officially known as Google Business Profile.
Which is a crucial distinction that we are absolutely going to get into. But yes, this is the single most important asset for a local business today, hands down.
And the stakes here, well, they literally couldn't be higher. Because in the digital age, having an online presence isn't just a bonus feature anymore.
No,
It's not like having a nice awning over your sidewalk or a catchy radio jingle. It is the deciding factor in your success or failure.
it really is. And here is the hook, right? The real reason why we're talking about this today. A lot of people still think of this as just a directory listing.
Right, like the old phone book.
Exactly. Like, oh, in the phone book, I've got my Yellow Pages ad, I'm good. But Google Business Profile isn't a directory. It is a dynamic, highly interactive platform that actively manages how the entire world sees you on both Google Search and Google Maps.
And the absolute best part of all of this?
The zero cost factor.
Yeah.
This is high impact marketing. Honestly, it's arguably the most effective marketing a small business can do, and it requires time, not money.
Right.
You don't have to pay to play here. You just have to pay attention.
I love that phrase. Pay attention, not money. We are digging into the latest strategies on all of this today. If you want to read more, check out our blog at intothemargins.com/playbook.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Let's define the beast.
Let's do it.
So we mentioned the name change right at the top. It used to be Google My Business, or GMB, as everyone in the industry called it. And now it's Google Business Profile. Why does that matter? I mean, is it just a branding exercise? Is it just some corporate executive getting bored and deciding to change the logo?
I mean, it's a little bit of corporate branding, sure.
Yeah.
But it actually signals a massive shift in how Google wants us and how they want consumers to view the platform.
How so?
Well, think about the old name. My Business. It sounded like a private dashboard for the owner.
Oh, like a behind-the-scenes tool.
Exactly. It sounded like a utility closet where you keep your brooms and your mop. But Business Profile, that sounds like a public-facing identity.
That makes total sense.
And that's exactly what it has evolved into. It's not a digital Yellow Pages entry anymore. It's interactive. It's social.
Right, because a phone book entry is static. It
Yeah.
just sits there on the kitchen counter collecting dust. You print it once a year, and if you change your phone number the next week, well, you're out of luck for 12 months.
Exactly. But a Google Business Profile is alive. It's a living entity. And it allows businesses to do 4 specific things that a phone book never, ever could.
Okay, break those down for us.
First, obviously, it lets you showcase the essentials. In the industry, we call this the NAP, name, address, phone number.
The absolute basics.
Right, plus your operating hours. But as we'll see later, even the basics are way harder than they look.
Oh, the hours are a nightmare. We will definitely get into that.
Right, so that's the first thing. The second thing it allows you to do is interact. It's a two-way street. You aren't just broadcasting your information out into the void. You are receiving real-time feedback.
Reviews.
Reviews, yes. And the Q&A section.
Which I have to say is utterly terrifying for some business owners. The whole idea that the customer can just talk back publicly for the whole world to see.
It can be daunting, absolutely. but it's incredibly powerful if you use it right.
Okay, so what's the third thing?
Third, you can publish. And this is the part that people miss constantly. It's almost like having a social media feed, but it lives right there directly in the search results.
So you don't even have to go to a separate app.
Exactly. You can post news, special offers, upcoming events. And finally, the fourth thing, you gain insights. You get actual hard data on how people found you, not just the fact that they did.
The source material we're looking at today uses this really great analogy that I want to unpack. It says your Google business profile is the bridge between a customer's search and your front door.
It's a perfect visual. Think about it. A customer has a need, right? They are standing on one side of a river. They type, say, Italian food near me into their phone. That search is them standing on the bank.
Okay.
Your physical restaurant is the destination on the other side of that river, but they can't get there without a bridge.
And the bridge is the data.
The bridge is the profile itself. If that bridge is broken, if the address is slightly wrong, if there are no photos so they don't trust the structural integrity of the bridge, or if the hours say you're closed when you're actually open, the customer never crosses it.
They just turn right around and go look for the next bridge.
Precisely. And in the digital world, the next bridge isn't a mile down the road. It is literally 1 inch down the screen.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
There is zero friction to going to a competitor. None. That's why your bridge has to be sturdy, well-lit, and incredibly inviting.
So let's talk about that screen real estate, because this brings us directly to the core value proposition. Why is maintaining this profile completely non-negotiable for a business today?
It all comes down to something called the local pack.
The local pack. It sounds like a specialized squad of superheroes. Or, I don't know, maybe a 90s boy band.
In the local marketing world, they kind of are superheroes. You know, when you search for a service on your phone like plumber or coffee shop, and before you see any of those standard blue links to websites, you see a map.
Yes, right at the top.
And under that map, there are usually 3 specific business listings.
Top 3. The ones with the star ratings and the little open now button.
Exactly. That is the local pack. And appearing right there in those 3 spots is the holy grail of local SEO.
But why is it so much more important than just having your actual website show up right below it? I mean, if my website is ranked #1 in the regular organic results, isn't that good enough?
10 years ago? Maybe. Today, absolutely not. Because the local pack is the very first thing the user sees. It completely dominates the screen, especially on a mobile device.
It takes up the whole viewport.
Exactly. If you are in the local pack, you are capturing the vast, vast majority of the searcher's attention. It sits above all the standard organic links. So you could theoretically have the best website in the world. You could have spent $50,000 on custom web design and blazing fast hosting.
Right.
But if you aren't in that map pack, the user has to physically scroll past 3 of your direct competitors just to find your beautiful website. And most people just don't scroll that far.
Ouch. That is painful to think about for anyone who just dropped cash on a website rebuild.
It happens all the time. People neglect the free profile to focus on the expensive website, and they lose the traffic. We call these zero-click searches, actually.
Zero-click searches. What does that mean?
It means the user gets everything they need right from the search results page without ever clicking through to a website. They see your profile on the local pack, they see you have 4.8 stars, they see your hours, and they just click the button to call you or get directions.
So the website doesn't even enter the equation.
Exactly. The Google Business Profile intercepts the customer before the website even gets a chance to pitch them.
That is wild. So getting into this pack, getting into those top 3 spots, it isn't just luck.
Oh no, it's a highly complex algorithm. And having a fully optimized Google Business Profile is a primary ranking factor for that algorithm. It's the strongest signal that tells Google, hey, I actually exist in this specific physical location, and I am highly relevant to what this person is typing in.
So it's essentially proof of life for the algorithm.
Essentially, yes. But it's much more than just a technical ranking signal. It's fundamentally about trust and social proof.
Okay, this is the psychology part, right?
Yeah.
Because we are all just massive cynics now.
We really are. Think about the modern consumer mindset.
Right.
We are skeptical. We are highly risk averse. We have all been burned by a bad product or a service provider that just ghosted us and didn't show up.
Oh, yeah. Contractor trauma is real.
Very real. So when we look at a search result and we see a business with a 4.8 star rating, lots of recent reviews, and active engagement from the owner, that equals immediate baseline credibility.
It's true. Let's create a scenario to make this really concrete for everyone listening.
Okay.
I am looking for a mechanic, My car is making this horrible, weird grinding noise. I'm already stressed out about how much it's going to cost.
Naturally.
I pull out my phone and I type auto repair.
Yeah.
Business A pops up on the map. It's got a name, an address, and nothing else. No reviews, no photos of the garage. Maybe it even has that little generic "own this business?" label on it. It looks like an absolute ghost town.
Right.
Then Business B pops up right next to it. They have 150 reviews, an average of 4.7 stars. There are photos of a clean garage, photos of the mechanics smiling in their uniforms. Who am I going to call?
You are going to call Business B every single time, without hesitation. Even if Business A is technically a mile closer to your house.
Yeah.
Even if Business A is actually cheaper. You call Business B because the perceived risk feels so much lower. The digital handshake has already happened.
The digital handshake. I really like that phrase. It's like they have already introduced themselves and greeted you before you even dialed the phone number.
Exactly. They've established a baseline relationship. And poor Business A, they might literally be the best mechanics in the entire city. They might be absolute wizards with an engine block,
Hey.
but they look neglected online. And the modern consumer automatically assumes that an online presence that looks neglected means the physical business is neglected too.
Wow. If you don't care about your front door, you probably don't care about my brakes.
That's exactly the subconscious leap the consumer makes.
And we absolutely cannot ignore the financial aspect here. We talked briefly about ROI, return on investment.
Right. And in this specific case, the monetary investment is $0. Think about traditional Google ads, the pay-per-click stuff. If you run Google ads, you are paying real money every single time someone clicks your link, whether they actually buy from you or not.
Right. And depending on the industry, that could be, what, 10, 20, 50 bucks a click?
Easily. For personal injury lawyers or emergency plumbers, it can be astronomical. It can drain a budget by lunchtime. You could spend hundreds of dollars just to get a few people to look at your site.
And with this,
Google Business Profile is completely free to set up. For small to medium businesses, the SMBs out there, this is the great equalizer.
because it levels the playing field against the giant corporations.
Exactly. You might not have the marketing budget to outspend the big national chains on paid ads. They will crush you on ad spend, but you can absolutely out-optimize them on your local profile. You can be more attentive, post better local photos, and respond to reviews faster than a massive corporate chain ever could.
That is so empowering.
Yeah.
So we're sold on the why. It's free, it builds immediate trust, and it gets you found in those crucial zero-click searches.
Right.
Now let's talk about the how. We need to get into the setup phase, because I feel like a lot of people probably stumble right out of the gate here.
Oh, they do. They rush it. They treat setting up their profile like they're filling out a boring form at the DMV. They just want to get it done and get out of there.
Just checking boxes.
Exactly. And that's a huge mistake.
So step one is claiming the listing.
Right. You go to the Google Business Profile site, you search for your business, and you click Manage Now. Simple enough on the surface. But then comes the verification process.
The dreaded postcard.
Yes.
I have heard so many business owners complain about this step.
The postcard. It really does feel so archaic, doesn't it? You're setting up a cutting-edge digital profile utilizing artificial intelligence and complex search algorithms, and Google essentially says, great, look for a piece of paper in your snail mail in 5 to 7 business days.
It's hilarious. Why do they do that? It feels like a massive, unnecessary roadblock.
It is a roadblock, but it's a highly intentional one. It is entirely about fraud prevention and data integrity.
Okay, explain that.
Google needs absolute proof that you are physically located where you say you are. Think about the map ecosystem. If they just allowed email verification for everyone, the system would be flooded with spam overnight.
Like fake listings.
Tons of them. I could go online right now and claim I have a highly rated pizza shop right in the middle of Times Square just to capture leads and sell them to real pizza shops, all while I'm actually sitting in a basement in a completely different country.
Oh, wow. Lead generation spam. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
So the physical postcard proves you actually have the key to the physical mailbox at that address.
Exactly. It proves physical tenancy. Now, to be fair to Google, they are evolving. Lately, they are moving heavily toward video verification.
How does that work?
It's pretty intense. You actually have to take your smartphone, start a continuous recording, walk down the street to show the street signs, show the exterior signage of your business, put your key in the lock, open the door, and show your point-of-sale system or your branded equipment inside.
You have to do it all in one uncut take.
Usually, yes. It's to prove you have operational control of the premises. But whether it's a video or a postcard, the ultimate goal is exactly the same. Prove you are real.
It's annoying for the owner, but honestly, it keeps the map reliable for the rest of us. If I get my car and drive to the location Google tells me to go to, I want the business to actually be there. I don't want to drive 20 minutes to find a vacant lot.
Exactly. Google's primary customer is the searcher, not the business owner. Everything they do is to protect the user experience.
Okay, so once we get the postcard and type in the little code or we upload the video, we're verified. Now we have to enter our core information. And our source material heavily emphasizes that accuracy is king here.
This is where the tiny details matter immensely. Your business name and your address must match your legal documents and what's on your website exactly.
When you say exactly, how specific are we talking? Like, to the letter?
I mean, exactly, down to the abbreviations. If your legal name on your storefront and your website is Bob's Burgers LLC, don't just put Bob's on your Google profile. And specifically, and this is a massive warning, do not try to game the system here.
You mean keyword stuffing, like trying to sneak search terms into your business name?
Yes, do not do it. Don't name your business Bob's Burgers Best Burger in Town Cheap Lunch.
People actually do that.
All the time, because they think, well, if someone searches for cheap lunch, I'll show up.
Right.
But Google absolutely hates that. It looks incredibly spammy, it strictly violates their terms of service, and here's the kicker, your competitors can actually report you for it. There is a suggest and edit button right on your profile. A competitor can report your fake name, and Google can instantly suspend your entire profile.
Whoa. So you can lose your digital front door just for being greedy with keywords.
Overnight. You just vanish from the map. It is not worth the risk. Just use your real, actual name. Just the facts.
Okay, warning heard loud and clear. Now let's talk about categories. The source highlights choose the right category as a foundational step. Why is this so critical? I mean, isn't it kind of obvious if I sell shoes, I'm a shoe store, right?
It's usually obvious, but not always. And it's critical because this category label isn't just a descriptive tag, it is a hard filter. This single decision dictates who finds you. If you choose the wrong primary category, Google is going to show you to the entirely wrong audience.
Can you give us an example of where this goes wrong in the real world?
Sure. Let's say you run a place that roasts artisanal coffee beans. That's your primary passion. You have a big roaster in the back, but you also have an espresso machine up front, and you serve cups of coffee to people who walk in off the street.
Okay, sounds like a cool place.
Right. If you set up your profile and categorize yourself primarily as a coffee wholesaler, you are explicitly telling Google's algorithm that you want business-to-business clients. You are signaling that you want restaurants and grocery stores buying massive bulk bags of beans from you.
But if I'm just a guy walking down the street wanting a quick morning latte,
You won't find them on your map because Google's algorithm thinks, oh, this searcher wants a hot cup of coffee right now, not a 50-pound sack of raw beans. So it filters the wholesaler completely out of the local pack. If you want foot traffic for lattes, your primary category needs to be coffee shop.
so if I search coffee near me and you're listed as a wholesaler, you literally might not show up at all, even if you're on the same block as me.
Exactly. You have effectively filtered yourself completely out of the relevant search intent. You have to put yourself in the shoes of the consumer and think, what exact words is my ideal customer typing into their phone to find me right now? And you have to match your category to that specific intent.
That is a huge aha moment. It's not about what you internally think you are as a business. It's strictly about how external customers search for you.
Correct. Now, you can have secondary categories, and you should use them. You could be a coffee shop primarily and a coffee wholesaler secondarily. But that primary category carries the vast majority of the algorithmic weight.
Got it. And then we have what the source calls the 100% rule, the explicit instruction to complete every single detail on the profile.
This is all about algorithmic trust. A lot of businesses get verified, they fill out the name, address, and hours, and then they just stop. They skip the rest. They skip writing a detailed description, they skip putting in their opening date, they skip all the little attributes.
They probably think, nobody actually reads all that stuff down at the bottom. It's just clutter.
Human beings might not read every word of it, but the machine definitely reads it. Google's algorithm reads every single character. A partial profile looks neglected to the algorithm. A 100% complete profile, on the other hand, signals that this is an active, highly engaged business owner.
So it's a ranking signal.
Exactly. Google trusts complete data sets. And when Google trusts your data more than the guy down the street, they rank you higher than the guy down the street.
So the advice is to fill out everything, even if it asks seemingly random questions, like if you have a gender-neutral restroom or if your business is veteran-led or women-owned.
everything. Check every box that genuinely applies to you, because every single piece of data is a potential hook for a searcher to find you.
Yeah.
Maybe someone specifically wants to support a veteran-led business in their community today to type that into the search. If you are veteran-led, but you didn't check that specific box in your profile settings, you won't show up for that search. You just lost a highly motivated customer because you were too lazy to click a button.
Wow. Okay, so we've built the foundation, the profile is claimed, verified without spamming the name, and it is 100% complete.
Huh.
Now we move to Section 4, optimization. This is how we actually stand out from the competition.
Right. This is moving from merely existing on the map to actively competing for dollars. This is where the winners really separate themselves from the losers.
And it starts with visuals. The source material gave us a statistic here that absolutely blew my mind. It says, profiles with photos receive 35% more clicks to their website than profiles without photos.
35%. That is a massive number. In the professional marketing world, we routinely fight tooth and nail just for 0.5% increases in conversion rates.
Yes.
35% is an absolute landslide.
That's a full third more traffic just for taking the time to upload some JPEGs.
Yeah.
But what exactly should we be posting? Are we talking about hiring a photographer to take stock-style photos of people shaking hands in a boardroom?
Please, no. Absolutely no stock photos. Ever.
Why not? They look professional.
Because users can smell a stock photo a mile away. It feels fake. It feels sterile. It actually makes the consumer feel like you're hiding something. Like, if this place is so great, why can't they show me a real picture of it?
That's true. It feels like a front.
Exactly. You want to use photos to humanize the business.
So real shots, even if they aren't perfectly lit or professionally edited.
Especially if they aren't perfect. Authenticity beats polish in local search every single time. Show the actual team. Show the smiling face of the person who works at the front desk. Show the office, even if it's just a standard, somewhat messy working office. If you're a plumbing contractor, show your branded van parked out front. If you're a bakery, show a close-up of the muffins literally coming out of the oven.
It helps the customer visualize themselves interacting with you.
It does. It completely removes the mystery. Visuals humanize your business before the customer even makes contact. It lowers that deep psychological barrier of stranger danger.
Right, because walking into a new place is intimidating.
Exactly. If I have already seen your face and the inside of your store on your profile, I feel like I kind of know you already. The anxiety is gone. And don't forget, exterior shots. Those are crucial.
Why are exterior shots so important? Just so they know what the building looks like.
Wayfinding. It's incredibly practical. If I am driving down a busy street at 45 miles an hour looking for your business, and I have already seen a picture of your exact storefront on your Google profile, my brain knows exactly what visual cue to look for.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Right. If I haven't seen an exterior photo, and I'm squinting trying to read tiny street numbers, and I miss your driveway, I might just keep driving and go to the easier place down the road.
That is huge. Friction is the enemy of conversion.
Always.
Now, let's tackle the absolute elephant in the room when it comes to local business. Reviews.
Ah, the double-edged sword.
Everyone wants 5 stars, obviously. But the source material explicitly says that it's not just about getting the stars, it's about the response.
This is an area where business owners leave so much money on the table. It drives me crazy. The golden rule of local SEO is this: always respond to reviews. All of them.
Even the good ones. Like someone leaves 5 stars and says, "Great job." You really need to reply to that.
Especially the good ones. A simple, "Hey, thanks for coming in. We appreciate the support," goes a long way. It shows appreciation. It shows the algorithm that you are an active manager. But the real high-stakes game is the negative reviews.
Oh man, the 1-star rant. Worst service ever. The owner is a jerk, never coming back. I feel like the natural human instinct when you read that about your own business is to fight back, to say, actually, you are the one who was rude to my staff.
It is the most natural human instinct in the world, but you have to suppress it. You have to swallow your pride. It's hard, but you have to remember one fundamental truth. You aren't actually replying for the person who left the review.
Wait, what do you mean?
You have already lost that customer. They are gone. You are replying entirely for the future customer who is reading that review 3 months from now.
That is a brilliant perspective shift. It's a spectator sport.
It is 100% a spectator sport. Responding to a negative review professionally is actually a strategic marketing move. Think about it. If I'm a potential customer and I see a business owner who attacks their customers in the comment section, getting defensive and calling people liars.
I'm running away, fast. I don't want to deal with that kind of drama.
Exactly. You think, wow, this owner is unhinged. But if I see that same negative one-star review, and right beneath it, I see a calm, highly professional response from the owner saying, "I am so sorry we missed the mark on your visit. We pride ourselves on great service. Please call me directly at this number so I can make this right."
Right.
I read that and I think, wow, these guys are true professionals. They take accountability. They care about fixing mistakes. It actually builds my trust in them more than a generic 5-star review would.
So a bad review, handled well, can actually be a net positive for your brand.
Absolutely. It shows you're human, it shows you have integrity, and it proves you don't hide from problems. Plus, from a purely psychological standpoint, a profile with nothing but 500 perfect 5-star reviews actually looks highly suspicious to modern consumers.
Right, it looks fake. Like you bought it.
Exactly. A 4.7 or 4.8 average with a few handled 1-star reviews mixed in actually looks much more authentic and trustworthy than a flawless 5.0.
I love that. Okay, moving on to another feature, our source highlights, treating search like social, specifically using a feature called Google Posts.
This ties back to the publishing aspect we mentioned earlier. Most businesses do the bare minimum. They set up their profile, get verified, and never log into the dashboard again.
Right.
But you can actually post updates directly to your profile, just like you would on your Facebook page or your Instagram feed.
What kind of stuff should a business be posting there?
Weekly updates are great. Special timely offers, like 10% off all oil changes this week only. Or our new winter suit menu just launched today. You can even take snippets from a blog post you wrote and link back to your website.
And where exactly do these posts show up for the user?
They show up right there on the search results page, nestled inside your profile panel. So if someone searches for your brand name, they don't just see your static address and phone number. They see a big, colorful image block saying, "Sale this weekend."
That's amazing.
It drives immediate, high-intent action. And from an algorithmic standpoint, it keeps the profile looking fresh and active. Google loves fresh content.
It effectively turns your Google search result into a digital billboard that you control for free.
Exactly. And think about the difference between this and a Facebook post. A Facebook post disappears into the newsfeed algorithm in about an hour. It's gone. But a Google post stays prominently visible for days to people who are actively, intentionally looking for exactly what you sell at that exact moment. The intent level is completely different.
That is a massive advantage. And speaking of high intent, let's talk about the messaging feature. The source says you should absolutely enable messaging.
This is critical for the modern consumer, specifically for the customer who absolutely hates talking on the phone, which, let's be honest, is a rapidly growing demographic across all age groups.
I am 100% guilty of this. I will do almost anything to avoid making a phone call.
You and millions of other people. Enabling this feature puts a little chat or message button directly on your search listing. It allows customers to text you directly from the search result.
That almost feels like magic. So I search for a local plumber. I don't even go to their website. I just click chat right on Google and I type, "Hey, do you guys fix leaky kitchen faucets?"
And the business gets a ping on their end and replies, "Yes, we do, and we actually have an opening at 2 p.m. today." Boom, lead generated, appointment booked. All the traditional friction is just completely removed.
It really does remove the friction.
Right.
I don't have to find the phone number. I don't have to dial. I don't have to listen to the phone ring. I don't have to navigate some automated press 1 for service phone tree.
Exactly. And in a highly competitive local market, the business that is the absolute easiest to communicate with is the business that gets the money. It's that simple. If I can text you and get a solid answer in 5 minutes, I am booking you.
Yeah.
I am not even going to bother calling the next guy on the list.
But there's a catch here, right? You have to actually be responsive. You can't just leave them on read for 2 days.
Oh, absolutely. There are consequences Google is watching. They actually track your average response time and they display it. If you routinely take 24 hours to reply to a chat, Google might actually just disable the button on your profile automatically.
Wow. They police it.
They heavily police it because a bad chat experience makes Google look bad. You need to treat it like a live chat system, not an email inbox.
Okay, so we are deeply optimizing now. We are posting authentic photos. We are expertly managing our reviews. We are treating it like social media with Google Posts. And we're chatting directly with customers. How do we actually know if any of this effort is working?
The data.
Right. Section 5 Analytics, reading the tea leaves.
Google provides an Insights tab right in the dashboard, and the amount of data they give you for free is surprisingly robust.
It's not just basic views, right? Like 1,000 people looked at your page.
No, it's way deeper than vanity metrics. It's about consumer behavior. It tells you exactly how people are interacting with your profile once they find it.
One specific thing the source mentions that I thought was super interesting is search queries.
This is the most fascinating part of the data, in my opinion. It shows you the specific, exact words and phrases people typed into their phone to find your business.
So you can literally see if they type Joe's Pizza or if they just type pizza near me.
Right. And that distinction tells you absolutely everything you need to know about the health of your local marketing.
Break that down.
Okay. If they type Joe's Pizza, that is a direct brand search. They already know who you are. Maybe they are a regular, or maybe a friend told them to go there.
Right.
But if they type pizza near me or best pepperoni pizza downtown, that is a discovery search. They did not know you existed when they picked up their phone, but your SEO was good enough that they found you anyway.
So I assume you want a healthy mix of both of those.
You definitely do. If you look at your insights and you are only getting direct brand searches, it means your marketing is stagnant. You aren't reaching any new people. You're essentially just preaching to the choir of people who already know you.
But if you're getting lots of discovery searches,
It means your profile optimization is working beautifully. You are capturing new market share. You are showing up for the broad category, which is where the growth happens.
that's a great metric to watch. And then there's another section called customer actions.
This is where we separate the casual browsers from the actual buyers. Google breaks down the actions into specific categories, primarily the difference between a website click, a phone call, and a direction request.
And there's a massive difference in consumer intent there.
Huge difference. If someone clicks through to your website, that implies research intent. They are kicking the tires. They want to see your full menu, or they want to read the About Us page to see how long you've been in business.
They're gathering data.
Exactly. But a direction request, that implies incredibly high transactional intent. They are literally pulling up the map to navigate to your physical door. They are getting in the car. They are coming to you right now.
That is actual money walking in the door.
It is the ultimate leading indicator of local sales. If you launch a new promo and you see your direction requests spiking in the Insights tab, you know for a fact your offline foot traffic is increasing. You can directly correlate that digital metric to the cash in your physical register.
I love the idea of tracking that. What about photo views? The source mentioned that. Is that just a vanity metric to make you feel good about your pictures?
Not at all. It's actually a really powerful benchmarking tool. Google will take your photo views and actively tell you how you stack up against the competition.
Oh, really? It compares you directly.
Yes. The dashboard will literally say something like, your photos received 50% more views than similar businesses in your area.
That's amazing competitive intelligence.
It is. It compares you to your local cohort. So if you look and see that your photos are getting significantly fewer views than your competitors, that is a massive wake-up call. It means the guys down the street have better, more engaging, more frequent visual content than you do, and you need to immediately up your game.
That is highly actionable data. And speaking of actionable, let's move into section 6, the playbook summary. We have an impact and action matrix in our source material here, and I want to run through this rapid fire to give everyone concrete takeaways.
Let's do it.
Okay, I will give you the overarching goal, and you give me the specific action.
Nutty.
Goal number 1, trust and ranking.
Action reviews. Specifically, you need to systematically ask every single happy customer for a 5-star review. Don't just cross your fingers and hope they do it on their own. Ask for it.
Make it part of the workflow.
Exactly. Build it into your standard operating procedure. Put a QR code sign right next to the cash register so they can scan it while they wait.
Goal number 2, engagement.
Action photos. You need to upload at least one new, authentic photo every single week. Keep the profile looking fresh. Show the vibrant daily life of the business so the algorithm knows you're active.
Goal number 3, search authority.
Action NFP consistency. You must ensure that your name, address, and phone number exactly match what is printed on your website footer, down to the abbreviations.
We're going to dive deeper into that one in just a second. Finally, goal number 4, conversion.
Action the Q&A section. You need to aggressively pre-populate it. Do not sit back and wait for random people to ask questions. Write out your top 10 frequently asked questions and then go in and answer them yourself right in the Q&A field.
Wait, hold on. You can actually do that. You are allowed to ask yourself questions on your own profile.
You absolutely can. And honestly, it is highly encouraged by local SEO experts.
I had no idea.
Yeah, if you know from experience that people calling the shop always ask, hey, do you have gluten-free options? Or do you guys have a parking lot out back? Just ask it and answer it publicly. It saves your staff from answering the phone 10 times a day, and it completely removes a barrier to entry for the searcher.
That is a massive pro tip right there. It essentially turns your Google profile into a mini FAQ page.
Exactly. It serves the customer instantly.
Okay, we're heading into the home stretch here. Section 7, the next step. We keep mentioning this specific acronym. You brought it up in the rapid fire round, NAP.
Right. Name, address, phone.
The source calls for a real deep dive on consistency here. Why is Google so utterly obsessed with this specific data being consistent?
Because Google's single biggest fear, fundamentally, is giving a user bad or broken information.
Right.
If Google's map sends you to a coffee shop and you drive across town and you get there and the building is empty because they moved, or you try to call and the number is disconnected, you don't just get mad at the coffee shop, you get mad at Google.
That's true. You think, wow, Google Maps is totally broken today.
Yeah.
And you lose trust in the search engine.
Exactly. And Google cannot afford to lose your trust. So to prevent that, Google constantly cross-references your core NAP information across the entire internet.
They scan other websites.
All of them. They scan massive data aggregators. They look at your Yelp page, your Facebook business page, old Yellow Pages directories, the footer of your website, local Chamber of Commerce listings, everywhere.
Okay.
And if the algorithm sees 123 Main Saint on your Google profile, but it scrapes Facebook and sees 123 Main Street Suite A, and then it scrapes Yelp and sees just 123 Main...
The algorithm gets confused.
It gets highly confused. It encounters conflicting data sets.
Yeah.
And when an algorithm gets confused, it inherently loses confidence in the data.
And confidence is everything.
Confidence is ranking. When it loses confidence that you are exactly where you say you are, it heavily penalizes your ranking. It essentially says to itself, I am not 100% mathematically sure this business is really at this address, so to be safe, I'm going to show the user the competitor down the street whose data perfectly matches across the web.
Wow. So even slightly inconsistent data is basically throwing sand into the gears of your local SEO.
Perfectly put, it grinds everything to a halt. So the actionable advice here, the real next step, is that you must ruthlessly maintain that consistency across the entire web, not just on the Google dashboard. If you change your phone number or you move to a new suite, you have to go manually update it everywhere.
It sounds incredibly tedious.
It is incredibly tedious, but it is entirely necessary. It is the absolute bedrock foundation of local search authority. There are software tools out there that can help automate the syndication of this data, but however you choose to do it, it just has to be done.
Okay. And finally, to close this out, let's talk about the overarching mindset shift. The source frames it as proactive versus reactive.
This is probably the biggest strategic takeaway of the whole topic. Most business owners operate in a purely reactive state when it comes to local search.
What does that look like?
It looks like claiming the profile, filling out the basic forms, and then just waiting for the phone to ring. Or worse, they completely ignore it until the day they suddenly get a scathing 1-star review, and then they log in purely to do emergency damage control.
It's the classic set it and forget it mentality.
Right. Which worked in 2010, but it categorically does not work anymore. The businesses that are actually winning in the local pack are highly proactive.
How so?
They treat their Google business profile like a garden. You don't just plant a seed and walk away for a year. They water it weekly by uploading fresh photos. They carefully prune it by reading and responding to every single review. They plant new seeds constantly by utilizing Google Posts and keeping their Q&A section updated.
And because they're putting in that proactive, consistent effort, they're the ones driving the lion's share of the traffic.
Exactly. They do not passively wait to be found. They actively make themselves highly findable. They are constantly sending loud, clear signals to Google's algorithm saying, we are open, we are highly active, our customers love us, send more people our way.
I really love that framework. Okay, so let's briefly recap what we've learned today on this deep dive.
We have definitely covered a lot of ground.
We've firmly established that your Google business profile is the bridge. It is your digital front door. And if that bridge is broken, the modern digital customer simply does not cross it. They go to the next one.
Right. We talked extensively about the local pack, those 3 incredibly valuable spots at the top of the mobile search results, and how earning a spot there requires pristine accuracy, consistent review generation, and a 100% completed profile.
We learned that while the platform is totally free, it does require consistent sweat equity. We need to upload real, authentic photos to get that massive 35% click-through boost. We need to swallow our pride and respond professionally to every single review to build spectator trust.
And we need to treat the platform almost like a localized social feed, leveraging tools like posts and direct messaging to strip all the friction out of the customer acquisition process.
It really is, without exaggeration, the single most powerful tool in the local business marketing arsenal right now.
Without a doubt. If you run a local business with a physical footprint, this is your most valuable digital asset. I would argue it is honestly more immediately valuable than your own website, and certainly more valuable than your Facebook or Instagram page.
That is a strong statement, but everything we've looked at today completely backs it up. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with something to really think about. You gave us a fantastic visualization earlier about the digital handshake.
I did. And this is the direct question I want every single business owner listening to ask themselves tonight.
Let's hear it.
Pick up your smartphone. Open an incognito browser so it's fresh. Search for your own business category in your town. Look at your listing purely through the critical eyes of a stranger who has never heard of you. If your Google business profile is the very first thing that stranger sees often before they ever click through to see your beautiful website, is your digital handshake actually strong enough and welcoming enough to make them want to walk through your front door?
That is the ultimate test.
It is. Or by neglecting that profile, are you essentially just packaging up leads and sending them directly down the street to the competitor who bothered to upload better photos and reply to their reviews?
That is the million-dollar question for local business. Is your handshake firm and professional, or is it limp, dusty, and confusing?
Make it count. You only get one first impression.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for breaking all of this complex algorithm stuff down with us today and making it so practical. This has been the playbook on Into the Margins. Go claim those listings, get those authentic photos uploaded, answer your own questions, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.